Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Fumble Live. I'm so glad you guys made it to Friday with us. We have so much to talk about today. First of all, James Harden is making a proclamation, and I got to find out if you guys think he's wrong. LeBron James is mad that he didn't get any votes, but the most important thing is Bobo is safe. That's the most important thing of today. Thank you guys again for joining us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. And now here's the Fumble Squad. I'm your host, Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things at JRay the Fanatic.
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K.
How you feeling, Chris? You made it to Friday. School week
Friday. Y'all pulled me in. I'm here all week. And it's been fun. I had a good time this week. We had a lot of fun with these lives, going back and forth with you, the chat. I had a good time. It was cool. It was fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. There's nothing bad to be said about the Knicks right now, so I'm sure you feel good about that.
I know.
I don't even know.
And that's my fear. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a little bit of my fear. Like if I end up coming back and we doing this thing a little bit more regularly, then all of a sudden my Knicks become back. Because as soon as I left, the Knicks said, "Oh, we good again." I'm like, "Oh, no, I can't brag about it with Jackie and everybody." Like, so I'm just a little worried about it. I'm a little worried. I'm gonna tell you, if we lose 5 games wrong, I'm out. Never again. I'm out.
Oh, is that it? So it's all depending on the Knicks. Oh my gosh, that's gonna make me root. Don't lose. This is the 4th one. Oh no, that'd be terrible. That would be terrible. But I hope everyone out there has had a great week. It was a struggle week for me, but we made it to Friday. That's the most important thing. So let's get into this need to know news, because this one, I see some of you guys are already going in on it in the chat. Let's flash back a little bit to last year and the playoffs. And Kyrie suffered that ankle injury, in the second round in the playoffs against Milwaukee. James Harden, who already had that hamstring strain, he was kind of forced to basically play on one leg. Yeah. KD had that "my foot's too big" moment that kind of ended it all for them. But now they're all back. And this is the conversation that's kind of been all over the league because injuries plagued the entire league. But James Harden told Sports Illustrated, I'm just going to tell you the quote. He says, "At full strength, nobody can beat us. I'm just going to leave it at that." This is not like one of those crazy quotes to me, because this is what everybody expected to see in the playoffs last year. They really expected it to be the Nets and the Lakers. I actually read a couple of articles about this James Harden quote. And ironically, even though LeBron James didn't get any votes, which we'll talk about that later, every article that I read 3, all of them said that the only team in the league that could really go up against the Nets was the Lakers. So everybody's kind of already co-signing on what James Harden said. I'm not really mad that James Harden said it. But Chris, do you think this is confidence or is it a little delusional?
No, this is 100% confidence. And again, I'm going to be as transparent here as possible, because I can go in here and say, no, F the Nets. But no, I think it's 100% confidence. And I even said that yesterday, that as much as I can't stand that team, he's not wrong. Like, that team, more so last year. I think this year they're nice still. But last year, I feel like for sure, if they were fully tooled, everybody healthy, James Harden is not lying on this one. I do believe I'm still going to give some credit to some of these other teams if they're also fully healthy, like the Sixers and the Bucks, and yes, the Lakers. I do think they can give them a run for their money. But with what Harden's saying, first of all, you got to say that as the best player or one of the better players on your team. And second of all, with the amount of names on that list, he's not wrong. I can't hate on it. Still,
yeah, I'm not hating on it either. And right. I'm really glad, though, because one of the things that I talk about is chemistry. I'm not pro Nets. I don't want anybody thinking this is weird. But when I'm just kind of looking at it unbiased, you do have to have that chemistry. And Blake Griffin and Bruce Brown, they re-signed on lower than market values because they believe in the team. They think the team has a good shot at a championship. So I think that that's a dope thing. When you guys already have that chemistry, guys want to be there. They think that this is the team that can do it. But we've seen these kind of words before, and then it ends up backfiring. Even if you believe this, do you think this is something you say, or do you kind of keep that close to your chest?
Nah, say it. Say it with your chest, man. Because, especially when you're on a top team like this, and to a different extent, I feel like LeBron James is doing the same thing. We're probably going to talk about his whole not getting voted later. But, everyone counted him out. So he's saying with his chest, like, all right, cool, I'm washed. Y'all keep saying that. Remember that. So I think it's the same way with something like this, where you got this super team don't hide from it. Don't hide from the fact that you know and you feel like you got one of the best teams in the league. Don't hide from it. Show that confidence and say something. If it backfires in your face, whether you say something or not, people the world is going to speak. So at least if you believe it, you feel it, say it with your chest. So I'm completely with this. And I normally don't agree with a lot of what Harden has to say. And this one I'm completely with, man. You got the squad, talk the talk. I have no problem with it.
This is completely opposite than what we saw from Giannis, because I got over the top angry with Giannis when they asked him, do you think that you'll be able to make this deep run in the playoffs? And then he slouched in his seat. And he's like, maybe not. That infuriated me. But at the end of the day, it worked. He didn't put this craziness out there, but he did this craziness in the playoffs. He, like you said, we kind of disrespected him. Some of that was his own fault because of how he presented himself.
For sure.
But he got out there and he did it. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. If I had to pick between the two, I'd probably go James Harden way. I don't know if I would want the leader of my team just slouching in the chair talking about, I don't know. So I'm with you on that one as well. I like it. I'm not mad at James Harden for this. I think it would be a little bit different if KD said it for some reason. I don't know why I feel that.
That's just hatred. That's just hating. For why? What would be the difference? He is the best player on the team, and he got to say it if anybody else gonna say it. So you just hating on KD? Okay,
it would feel different in my spirit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind James. I wouldn't even mind Kyrie saying it. But if KD said it, I'm like, nah.
What? Wow. See, I that's how I feel with Kyrie. And I love Kyrie, but the thing is, like, I don't even know. Sometimes he believes some of the stuff that come out of his own mouth. So I'd be like, okay, Kyrie, if you say so, bro. But James and KD, they let him talk.
I mean, okay, you're right. That might just be a me thing. That might not be a KD thing. But anyway, so but it might be right. I don't know. So the Clippers did the same thing, though. Remember, they put them billboards up that I almost crashed, and I was livid when they did that. And then the internet is unforgiving. So James Harden says this: if they stay healthy, now obviously he'll have this out if they have any sort of injuries, because he said 100% healthy, they do this. But with him saying this, and if they stay 100% healthy and then don't get it, the flashback is going to be crazy. Do you think it'll be warranted?
Yes, but Jackie, if he doesn't say anything, you don't think we're not gonna sit here and talk trash on the Nets regardless? If James Harden and all of them stayed quiet and they were fully healthy and they still got bounced in the second round by like the Atlanta Hawks or something like that, we still gonna doodle on them. They did all this to do this. KD and Kyrie had that whole conversation for what? James Harden came over there and da. We still gonna be talking about it. So that's why I'm telling. I feel for James. Own it. And I love that you add that little bit. Yeah, he did save himself a little bit because, if Blake gets hurt or if, Bruce Brown, like one of the smaller pieces get hurt, he's still going to say, I said we were 100%. We was 95. That ain't the same thing. So, like, he gave himself a little bit of an out. But, no, I think whether he says something or not, we going to be on the Nets if they're at 100% and they still don't do what they're supposed to do 100%. I know I'm going to be on them. I'm gonna have jokes for days. I'm gonna be on it for sure.
I don't know if you guys noticed in the chat, but I just noticed this and it's hilarious. Anytime somebody is talking stuff in Chris's head, he goes like this.
You see me go, yeah. That whatever.
That is fantastic.
For real.
I'm gonna make a whole reel of when people talk stuff and
bobblehead CK. That's what they're gonna call it.
I love it. All right, so I think we agree. James Harden was right to say this. I guess it. As long as it's James Harden or Kyrie, I'm fine. KD, just ride it out for me real quick. Ride it out. Don't say nothing just yet. All right, let's go into our next need to know news because we are starting off this Friday on a positive note because SHAQ, y'all know I never agree with SHAQ. That is not the case today. I agree with SHAQ mostly. So he said that LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, and Giannis Antetokounmpo are the only players, let me say that again, the only players in the NBA who have nothing to prove. Now, don't forget, he's got those 19 seasons and won 4 championships, and he's in the Hall of Fame, so that gives him that G5 classification, because that's what he would say, so let me put that out there. But I agree with him. I can't wait to see what you think about this, because I agree with him when it comes to LeBron and Steph. LeBron, one of the best basketball players to ever do it. Steph Curry 100% changed the game. We have to give him that credit. But with Kawhi, yes, he has those 2 championships, but he kind of promised the Clippers that this was going to become a Clipper town. That's never going to happen, by the way. But at least he promised them a championship. Not only did he not do that, he's not been the leader that he needs to be. And I think when you talk about Giannis, he brought a championship to the Bucks, and they haven't had one in 50 years. I still think he needs one more to kind of solidify his legacy. But he did what he said he was going to do. But with Kawhi, if he doesn't win here in LA and they went out of their way to give him what he wanted, I think he still has to prove it here in LA. What do you think?
Real quick on Shaq's list, though, I just want to. I don't entirely agree. I know you're talking about Kawhi, but what I do agree is with the Giannis. Well, no, so yes, I do agree with Kawhi and Giannis. I think I would take them off the list. But who I would add is KD. The hell else does KD have to prove? I mean, does he have to, because he has to win it by himself? I think that's whack. Kevin Durant is arguably probably the best scorer we've had, and I hate that I'm here complimenting KD. What, 3 times in one show? Like, what kind? Who am I?
It's 3 times in 13 minutes, Chris.
Yeah, I don't like it. But I do think in my mind it would be LBJ, KD, and Curry. But yes, but going back to your point, I'm not ready to put Kawhi or Giannis on that list yet. What Kawhi did in Toronto was magical. What he was able to do instantly coming into the league with the Spurs, with what was already a great team. But we got to remember, Kawhi was a big part to those latter year championships when he was there on the Spurs. Kawhi was huge in those runs, and then we saw what he did in Toronto. Like, those were great and everything, but like you just said, like, you know, he had all this big talk. He's done all this whatever with the Clippers and whatnot. But even when he was with the Clippers, you saw there's a lot of instances that even when he's off the court, the team looked like they play a little bit better. I love Kawhi. This is not shade, but it's just the reality of it. Clippers look like they play a little bit better without Kawhi, and when he's out there, it doesn't really seem like the needle moves too much, even though he's out there scoring a lot of points and doing all the Kawhi-like things, which was real. It could be a combination of who they have on the Clippers with Kawhi. I don't know what it may be, but I still believe like the Kawhi he needs one more chip from me. And Giannis too. Yeah, it's too soon for me to say that Giannis is done. He just won 1 chip. The kid is still young. No, Giannis still has stuff to prove, and that's not shade. That's just adding more fuel to his fire. He does have more to prove. So the only 3 I'm putting on that list with Shaq is LBJ, Curry, and KD. Those are the 3 right there. They don't need nothing else from me. Like, they can retire tomorrow. And I'm like, yep, they're great already for sure.
I agree with you on the Giannis, and the reason why I say that is because with Shaq saying this today, if we get to the end of Giannis's career and he only won this 1 championship, people are going to drag him. It's not going to be enough. Sure. It's just not. Because he's too freakishly talented, number one. Same thing with LeBron. That people said that about him. He's freakishly talented, so he's going to get no passes. On top of that, he's slowly becoming the face of the NBA. Warranted, because he's a super nice guy. He's here for the fans. He's just super likable, and he's extremely talented. But there comes a level of pressure and expectations with that. So no, winning 1 championship is not going to be enough. The KD thing that you said, I think the reason why for him it's not a thing is he's just not a likable guy. And so he's got this whole stigma. The thing that I don't like is people still call him a snake. I'm still not happy with him for leaving OKC to go to the team that he couldn't beat. But at the end of the day, when we're talking about an entire league that your merit is kind of based on if you win a ring or not, let that man go get his ring. I don't see, the problem with that. Same thing I said about the Nets. I didn't like the whole, they're just doing a super team. We have such a broad base of immense talent that I said in like 5 years, everybody's going to be damn near a super team, so it's just going to be, one of those things. But with KD, I agree with you. I think it was my Glock in the chat said that KD's not even top 20 or something like that. I'd have to scroll back. I feel like I'm with you on that one. Like, please don't make me have to be out here defending KD because I don't want to.
I don't know if you saw Crystal Ball. He was saying that I'm being like you with Tom. I'm over here defending KD, even though I couldn't stand him before. And he's right, and I don't like it. I don't like it because he's across the like. No, I don't like it. I can't do it.
Yeah. So with Kawhi, because he won those 2 championships, those just don't. Because if Giannis won 1 more, if Giannis had 2 championships right now, would you be saying, yes, he has nothing else to prove?
If Giannis won 2 Milwaukee championships, to be completely real with you, I would be like, you know what? I still want to see more, But if he ended his career with those 2 Milwaukee championships, I think he was already great, because the story in itself is fantastic. And to win like you mentioned, to win the one is great, but then to do it 2 times when he had the opportunity to leave and do all these kind of things, and he does it 2 times in a small town like Milwaukee, that's huge, man. That's big. That's legacy. So yeah, if he won 2 of them, I know that's probably not shooting for the stars, but 2 of them in Milwaukee, yes, I would say put him on the list for sure. I would still want to see him do more, just because he's the Greek freak and he's tremendously talented, and I feel like he's going to be great for years to come. But if it just results that his career is just at 2 in Milwaukee, he plays Milwaukee his entire career, he did all I needed to see. He was great. That's fine with me.
So then that kind of answers my next question. So 2 in Milwaukee, if Giannis had it, would be more important than the 2 that Kawhi has.
Yeah. To me, like I said, he was huge with the San Antonio one, but he still was a part of a huge legacy, greatest of all time type team in the Spurs. So it's hard to give it solely on him. He was big in it, so that's why I give him credit for it. But the Raptors chip to me was the one where it's like that was his Giannis chip in Milwaukee. That was that one chip. So give me another one, especially if he does it with the Clippers, You know what I mean? So
right.
Yeah, I need him to get another one. And if it's with the Clippers, then yes, that's greatness right there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So you don't think KD needs another one? You don't think he needs one more to solidify his legacy?
What? No, I don't think he does.
With the Nets.
No, you're right. But here's my thing though. You're right. You're completely correct. Like if he does that with the Nets, that's huge. But at the same time, you mean to tell me if Kevin Durant retired tomorrow, we're not going to sit here and talk about him being one of the greatest to play in the game still? You know what I mean? So that's why I don't think like he needs the championship the way these other guys need him, because Kevin Durant's done damn near everything, top the level his entire career. Like it's hard for me to say that he needs another championship. For sure, he gets out of championship, especially in Crooklyn. Like that would be for sure something that would put him up in the stars to talk about, next to some of the greats. But I don't think he needs it like that. I still think Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant right now. And again, I'm done talking about Kevin Durant for the rest of the show. Like I'm here talking about I'm a crazy Kevin Durant fan, man.
Right. Evan Smith, he agrees with you. He says, not going to lie, Kawhi is easily the top 5 fully healthy. Well, he disagrees with you because he says Kawhi is a top 5 fully healthy. So he thinks Kawhi has nothing to prove. I disagree with that. Kawhi is just not that guy.
I agree to this point, like in the league. In the league right now, sure. But the second part, I don't agree with you.
Yeah, no, you still have to. You had billboards. I am never going to let that go. You had billboards out here saying, what did they say?
It was some whack.
Shade at the Lakers, like we don't like bright lights, we like streets. Something stupid. You remember?
Oh man, I see it every day. Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I remember seeing it every single damn day. Yeah, they thought they were clever. Yeah, I get my little brother.
The Hollywood team.
Yeah. I get because my little brother diehard favorite player is Corey McGee. He's a diehard Clipper fan, so I always give him hell for that. I'm like, yo, that is not the move. Those billboards are not it, bro. Yeah.
All right, so that's all we've got for Need to Know news. Let's get into the post up because we've got some fun ones, especially the last one in the post up. Hilarious! Nice. I can't wait to get it. So because Chris, just keep your mind in sports mode. We're going to create a sport for the last post up, but for this first one, we went from having a good time in Need to Know to now everything's gone wrong with this first post up because, like Chris said, we were going to talk about it because 10 executives and scouts were polled and not one of them voted for LeBron James as the best player in the NBA, which is weird to me because considering we were talking about him being in contention for MVP up until he got hurt, like how does that narrative change so much? You guys are tripping with this in my opinion. And don't let me find out that Jeannie Buss or Pelinka was in this, because then I'll really be mad. I looked for the list. I couldn't find the list, but I'm still going to be investigating because better not be on the people polled. But they didn't get one. He didn't get one vote. To be fair, they said the only people that were considered was Giannis, KD, and LeBron James. So I got a little mad because in my head, I'm like, okay, well, let's give Giannis like 6 votes if we're talking about 10 people. No, it was split 50-50 between Giannis and KD. This is blasphemous to me. I definitely think you give more to Giannis in this one. But let me show you, KD is not supposed to be that close to me. And LeBron should have got a couple votes. But he was like, okay, you know what? I didn't. Let's talk about this. So this first guy, 73-9, he said hashtag washed. And then LeBron was like super washed with the trash can emoji. But he wasn't done there. He's definitely feeding into this. He says, thank you. As if I needed more fuel to me. Hashtag washed king emoji. Then this next one he posted on his story. This is the part that got me. Because I've never seen him, like he usually is like one and done with his social media responses because he just doesn't do that. Nah, he's just like, okay, if you didn't see it on my Twitter, let me put this in my IG story. And so he goes, hashtag washed king with the same thing, with him not getting one single vote. So to me, the problem with this, even if this happened, I would have lied because I would have been like, there's a team full of veterans all having something to prove. I don't need to put no gasoline on that fire. That's not smart in my opinion. I think he's right. This is fuel to his fire. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that there should have been some votes. I don't know if he should have been the one. I'm gonna be completely real with you. I think, to be real with you, I'm leaning on Kevin Durant. To be completely honest, I know, but here's why. Who played better in that series? Giannis won the series, but Kevin Durant was the best player in that series. The entire series, Kevin Durant was carrying. And this is with a team with other guys.
Let me tell you why I disagree. I'm not disagreeing on what Kevin Durant specifically did. What I'm going to say is none of us expected what we saw from Giannis. None of us did. We haven't seen that from Giannis in previous playoffs. His whole demeanor going into this situation let us feel like he kind of had this failure mentality before he even went into it.
Right.
So to go in and not only just lead his team physically, but he was also the vocal leader for his team. Hands down, to me, I'm with you. I don't know if in this specific instance, because he had to sit out for 20 games and because the playoffs ended up like they did with us, I don't know if I would say LeBron wins it, but Giannis definitely should have got more votes.
And my beef with what you just said is that part right there. I think it's coming. I'm just not ready to give it to him just yet because of that. He doesn't exude that, like, this is my league kind of thing. And that's not shade. It's just like he doesn't have that, like, I'm gonna go out here and I'm making sure that you guys know Giannis goes that, because like you said, it wasn't there to start with, at least this past season, because he still, And in his defense, like, you got to think, this damn Bucks team was first in the East for like 3 years straight, and they kept getting bounced. So, it probably was affecting them a little bit mentally when it came to that. But at the same time, like, I can't – that he's not there. We got to remember, he's still young. So, to me, I'm just not ready to give it to him just yet. Kevin Durant came back from this crazy injury and he came in looking like he never left, looking like he just took a vacation and came back to continue hooping the way he was hooping right before the injury, and with a team full of superstars, but still making it known that he is the guy on this team. James Harden goes out, Kyrie's out for whatever the case may be, and the Nets did not lose a step, and I hate them. Oh, this really hurts my heart. But it was really crazy to watch. As much as I was hating and I was watching with fire in my eyes, it was incredible to watch. And to me, I'm giving the slight lead to KD because of that. You're right. And Giannis is definitely going to be the guy. It's going to be a competition between him and Luka in a few years for sure. But right now, to me, I got to give that slight edge to KD. But it's also blasphemous to see on this little ticker right here to see 0 votes for LeBron James. I don't give a damn if he got 1 or 2, and there needs to be some damn votes, because y'all still got to put some respect on that man's name. I don't care what nobody says. That is ridiculous to me. This dude going to be 40 years old, and he's still going to be rim rocking like your favorite dunker in the league. That's crazy to me. That's absolutely absurd.
100% agree. 100% agree. I think Luka has a long way to go before he ends up in that conversation.
But he's going to be in the conversation.
But he's got to do. Remember when you and I first did one of those shows we were doing for the playoffs, and I said Giannis don't have no outside shot, and I didn't think he was supposed to win.
Yes, you did.
That, right? So it's been about what, 3 years since we had that show. He's developed that. Luka, to me, his game is a little bit, I feel like I'm not seeing the development as fast as I would want to see it in him, because these are things that he can just change with a little bit of practice. So Luka, this is for you. I need you to get better. But there's no way in this situation KD and Giannis are 50-50. Or KD and, Giannis, no way. No way. Giannis should at least have 7 votes, and then KD 3. And then I would have probably...
Oh, my God.
Here it goes. 6, 2, and 1 for the numbers. I would have actually been okay.
Okay.
You're not feeling that at all. That's okay.
No, I'm not. But all right.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. All right, let's go on to this next one, because even if you are a LeBron hater, okay, I don't think you'll ever. He doesn't live a rent-free in your minds. The best thing about LeBron, even to LeBron haters that I know, they hate LeBron, but they love how he always ignores Skip Bayless. He's never acknowledged anything that Skip Bayless has said ever. That's a skill set, because Skip Bayless, he talks about LeBron all the time, and it's weird. This that I'm about to show you from Skip, though, is next level weird. It's you might need to see somebody weird. So let me show you this. So this is on. Now I didn't think this was real at first, because this person who's 23, he's a diehard LeBron James fan. He goes, "This is a disease." So if you see, this is an old school alarm clock, RCA alarm clock.
Yeah.
No shade, but I didn't know they still made those. But on the bottom, he says, LeBron, I am up in LA. Are you? I'm preparing for my first workout of the day. Are you, LeBron? And then he's LeBron, where are you at? It's 2 a.m. This isn't p.m. It is 2 a.m. So I was like, this can't be real. And he was like, it's like he read my mind. He's like, for all the people asking, yes, this is real, unfortunately. I was like, wait, what? Then it gets way, 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 way worse. 2 a.m. Keep that in mind, and then take a look at this video.
Hey, LeBron. It's about 2:30 a.m. here in LA. I'm just now finishing stretching and starting my first workout of the day. I'm on the treadmill, just now getting going running. It's hard, man. It's early. I'm sure you're up. I'm sure you're already working out. You might even be on your second workout by now. I don't know. But I just wanted the world to know I'm up and I am working out. And I haven't heard from you yet, but let me know how your first workout went.
Ew.
I'll talk to you when I finish this one.
Ew.
Skip, no, you won't. LeBron has never talked to you. What you mean? What you mean?
So
I don't know what's happening.
cringy. God. I've seen this in horror films. Hey, LeBron.
Right.
I just, you didn't respond to me, but I was just gonna let you know, I'm working out. Yeah, I'm sure you're waiting. You're just in the middle of your workout, but you'll respond to me after. I'm waiting. Like, it's just weird. Like, the initial tweet where he said it's a disease. It really is a disease. It is weird, man.
Really is. It's
so
a lot.
Weird.
Because I've seen, I don't know, there's an old school movie, and the only reason I know this movie is because my mom introduced me to this movie after my first roommate here in LA. I've only had one roommate outside of college my whole life. And what I was describing to my mom, I was like, Mom, I'm scared. Like, this chick is crazy. And my mom was like, I think she's seen Single White Female. Y'all go watch that movie. It's I think the movie came out in like the early 80s. My roommate at the time was doing exactly what that chick was doing. And Skip is doing exactly what my roommate was doing.
That's crazy.
This is trauma. This is trauma. Trauma. But look, this is so bad that this one Twitter user got in an argument with himself. He says, bro.
Wait,
bro. He literally, if you see on the bottom, it says show more replies. He's got like 2 more responses to his response. He's talking to himself this whole time. He says, bro, this is mental illness. Like, actually, get him help. And then he responds to himself by saying, 100%. I hope he can pull through because it's getting hard to watch. And then he had like 2 more.
Later. Right. He responded to himself an hour later. Like, maybe it's less weird if I wait an hour. Like, what?
Got like 2 more responses to like, mental illness is real, blah, blah. He's literally talking to himself for like 2 more times. But this next person does not think it's as funny as we are making it. He says, nah, I'd file a restraining order after this. And as funny as I'm taking this, his obsession with LeBron is it's a lot. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Like at first it was like, okay, that's the Skip stick. Like he's hating on LeBron. But then it just started getting weird when he was adding LeBron when we're watching other teams play basketball and he's bringing LeBron up. Then it started to get weird. And now seeing this, look, jokes aside, it might be time to consider because LeBron James got him blocked. Like he's been had him blocked. But
for like 5-6 years or more.
But he in LA now. So I don't know what he out here in LA trying to do, but LeBron, I don't know, man. Stay away. That's weird. It's just weird. I don't like it. It's
really weird. Now, shout out to Skip for being, I think he's 69. I think he'll be 70 in December or something like that. Yeah. I don't know what month, but he's 69. He's in incredible shape. Yeah. But sleep is important to your overall mental health. And if you're up at 2 a.m. doing your first workout, maybe he's not getting enough sleep. Maybe we should start there. Go to bed. I don't know. Of course, Skip, bless his heart. I'll pray for Skip Bayless. Weird. We should do hashtag prayers for Skip. That needs to be the hashtag that we.
I don't like it. Right, I don't like it.
See somebody. That's all I got to say. Let's move on to this next one because I really think this is hilarious. If you like Jimmy Butler at all, you know that this actually happened because this is his personality. He just does not care about stuff like that, especially when it's NBA recognition that doesn't include a title. He does not care. But his agent said this. He says Jimmy Butler hung up the phone on his agent when he was told he landed on an all-NBA team. He says, when I called him to tell him this year that he made all-NBA, I got the word all out of my mouth and he hung up the phone on me like he doesn't care. Like, yeah, that's Jimmy Butler. Like, it is what it is. Of course, there was some shade from some fans because that's what people do. But I feel like you only shade this if you really don't follow Jimmy Butler. You would know that this is exactly how it happened. But this person says, like he expected it, F out of here. He's not even a top 25 player. Stop already. The worst contract in NBA history compared to career achievements, career 17 points per game, can't shoot threes, defensively average, more of a third option on a contender. That's a lot. Like, that's a lot. But then this next person was like, okay, look, you obviously don't follow Jimmy Butler at all, so let me help you out. You must not really follow him. It's not that he expected it. It's that he literally could not give less of a damn about awards / accolades. He just wants a title. That's it. That's all he cares about. And country music. That's it. That's all this. And Taylor Swift.
Right.
And that's it. In that order. It's like basketball, country music, Taylor Swift. That's what Jimmy cares about. So this wasn't surprising to me at all. I think it's hilarious. I would have loved to see that recorded. Next time his agent calls him with talent, some award he got, he needs to record it. Like, Jimmy, you got hello. That would have been funny.
You made the all Jimmy. Hello. All right. Well,
my battery. Hello. Like that would have been funny. But just reading about it, I'm like, no, that's expected. All right. So let's get into the next one because I don't know if Pahokee Sports is here in the chat. He used to come in the chat all the time. And he is constantly sending me stuff about Bitcoin. And he was like, you got to get on this Bitcoin train. I am confused about it. I invested some money in it, lost some money in it, gained the money back. Don't know what's what. It's too time consuming for me to understand. I don't have the time. So when I see athletes, I'm assuming they have the time or at least have somebody in their financial corner that's explaining. Right. Because this is not odd anymore. This is like the third or fourth person that I've heard wanted a portion, if not all. There's a guy in the NFL, I forget the name. He took his whole contract. He wanted his whole contract paid out in Bitcoin. That's risky.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I don't remember who it was. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
But that's too risky to me. But Cade Cunningham, you know, his rookie contract, 4 years, $45.6 million. I tried to look what his signing bonus is. I couldn't find it, but he's on this train. It says breaking. Cade Cunningham, his first overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft, has signed an exclusive multi-million partnership with crypto company Block FI. See, I don't even know if that's like BlockFi or Block FI. I don't know. But he said, it says, as part of the deal, Cunningham is being paid 100% of his signing bonus in Bitcoin. I can't possibly have an opinion on this because, again, I don't have enough of an understanding of Bitcoin. To me, it does seem risky just from the little $300 I invested and saw that go to negative $60. And then now I'm at $220. To me, it just seems way too risky to get any portion of your contract paid out like that. So I don't have an opinion. I'm just saying good luck. But this user had a level of sarcasm that I appreciated. He says, NBA rookies, the model for sound financial decisions. So, oh
my God.
That's one of those things where I don't know. They clearly have a financial advisor. Somebody is telling him that this is a good idea. And he has this contract with him, with this company. I just don't have enough knowledge to speak on this. So good luck.
And it was you said it was just the bonus that was going into Bitcoin. I missed that.
Bonus, so that's why, it's just a signing bonus. It's not his whole contract.
Yeah, so talking to my brother who he's in it. He is all up in it because he's my Pokey Sports. He's like, hey, so when you gonna get into it, Chris? Chris, you gonna start it up? You know, all you gotta do is just put a few hundred in there and just, you know, get it going and let get started. And I'm like you, like I genuinely want to, like, I want to get into it. I feel like it's something that should be up my alley, but it's just too much mind space. And like, I don't like to go into things not knowing how to do it. And I don't want to start throwing money around and not doing it right. Like, did I do that right? No. So I'm broke now. I don't want to do that. So like that's I haven't really dabbled into it because I don't know enough. I don't know enough. But yeah, talking to him about it because as soon as I figured it out, I found out about Cade doing this. I instantly want to hear what he had to say because he doesn't care about sports. But when it comes to Bitcoin, he's like, it's great because when he makes that much money anyways, he's probably going to be putting money into Bitcoin regardless. So why not just have it go straight and then the money can come back to him double, depending on the time and what year and blah, blah, blah. So he thinks it's a great idea. I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess I need you to be my financial advisor because apparently Cade might be making a lot more money than expected if everything goes right with him. So you, I only know so much about it. That's why I asked somebody who knew about it. And he says that it's going to be good for him because he's probably going to be putting money there anyway. So might as well just let it go straight. So I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah. A lot of people in the chat, they're on that train. Black Zen says, you know, dollar is king, crypto is queen. I'm not arguing any of that. I'm saying I'm stingy with my money. And when I put $300 in it and that went down to negative 60, I was done. I didn't need to read nothing else ever again.
Right. Fact.
That's just who I am. But, you know, I'm not opposed to it. I just obviously have to learn more about it. So, let's go on to this next one because we've talked a lot about PJ Washington and the drama that he was going through. I think a lot of us thought that Bobo was right behind him because his girl is like real open with it. Again, read the room, go back on their social media and do the thing. This is funny to me because this is a kind of a funny reason to break up because there's this trend on TikTok where they play the Lion King song, and it goes, I need a sugar daddy to come pay my bills. So Bobo's girl did that. So let me show you this video. I'm not gonna play because I want to get the copyright infringement, but I know this is what she's singing right now. So there's a couple problems I have with this video. Number one, where she is very intentional to me because she's in her walk-in closet that she probably didn't pay for nothing in there, and she's saying she needs a sugar daddy to come pay her bills, and then there's a suitcase right there. To me, this is a very distinct message. Now, I am single at the moment, but if I was in a relationship and I sung this, I think my man would probably think it was funny because he knows I pay my own bills and so I think he would just be like, haha, babe, appearance, maybe we'd have a conversation about it, but we'd move on. But when you know all that stuff in your closet you probably didn't pay for, then it becomes a problem, number one. And number two, your caption. You could have been like, haha, jokey joke, just kidding. No. But she says, gold digger for life. Queen of the ratchet chorus. Sweetheart. No. Just kidding, haha. I don't something. Put your light and gas bill up there. It shows you just paid it. But don't put gold digger for life on there when you're dating a basketball player, right?
So hold on. I just want to say this though, and I just been on TikTok for a few months. I think that's the name of the sound she's using. I don't think that's her caption. Okay.
But you can change it though. Because I've used a lot of those sounds. And then like there's one that I used that has a lot of curse and has the N-word in the title. Well, it's you know, there's like the N and then the thing. I changed the title. I don't have the gold dig. I wouldn't do that especially if I'm trying to keep my money.
Okay.
I'm not the appearance.
See, I'm new.
Yeah. The appearance of now you can have it in the bottom, like you know, where it scrolls and tells because that's how they let other people know this is the sound you use and you can click on it and blah blah blah. But the caption, you don't have to keep the caption the same. You can change your caption to whatever you want. And this would have been a time where you changed the caption, right? Change
right there. Got you.
I don't know if this is the reason why, because if it is, to me, it is a silly reason because she's been this way the whole time. So if she's singing about it or going along with this trend, I don't know why that would be the reason why the light bulb went off. But if internet detectives are right, they're not following each other anymore. So when you go to the account and you search for her, she's gone. And then when you go through her account, you know, she had a whole bunch of pictures of him, and they were in their jerseys and stuff, and those are gone. So this guy said, "Bobo with his OnlyFans girlfriend, he's saved."
He's saved.
I think
good for him.
Because, you know, Gold Digger Handbook, verse 1, chapter 3 says, when you break up with the former sugar daddy, you got to purge him from your account. So the new sugar daddies know you're available. So the fact that she took all that off of her account, I think it's official. They've broken up. So I would just like to give him a round of applause because we was going to clown you to hell and back if you would have ended up in a situation, sir. Congratulations. Well done. Like Mike Glock says in the chat, that is a true W for you. Super proud.
Huge dub. Huge dub.
Well done, sir.
Yeah,
well done.
Sure.
All right, so let's go on to this next one. Because I know y'all remember, I think it was last week, I had to do a show by myself. Y'all. I can do it, but it's not, you know, it gets boring after a while. So apparently the rumor is that Max Kellerman, when I looked it up, the first thing I saw was like he's leaving. So then I went to ESPN and ESPN says that he is likely to be removed. It's not that he's leaving.
That's
he's
the one
being
I saw.
removed. And removed is a different word than leaving. So I tried to find like what's going on, if there's some sort of tension between Max and Stephen A. Haven't found that yet, but y'all stay tuned next week. I'm gonna figure that out because removed is a very distinct word. But Twitter is laughing now because ESPN also, and let me tell y'all something else. This is a horrible idea, ESPN. Don't do this because ESPN is saying they have no intentions of replacing Max Kellerman. They're just going to let people kind of rotate in and out. They're going to have people, like there's a morning show that comes on before First Take. They're just going to have somebody walk on over. Horrible, horrible, horrible idea. It's not going to work. I can tell you firsthand, not going to work. But this person says this is what First Take's going to look like when Max Kellerman gets moved. And it's Stephen A. talking to Stephen A. I thought this tweet was funny, but it's funnier when you see it in video form. Take a look.
Kevin Durant is the second best player in the world, period. No wonder Jalen Rose almost walked off the set on you. You've got to be crazy. Kevin Durant is the greatest player you have.
That's great.
That's about right, though, because so here's my problem with this. Unless the host that's walking over from whatever show, I forget what show it was, one of them shows.
Any of the shows. They feel like they just come from Get Up or whatever. Any of those shows on ESPN.
That's the show that they were going to. So unless they're covering the exact same thing on Get Up, whatever host they pull from that is going to be walking into whatever the writers wrote and any notes that maybe Stephen A. has. They don't have like an authentic. And then if that's the case, why would viewers who watched Get Up watch First Take? Because they've already seen.
They're going to hear the same thing.
Right.
Right.
This is a horrible plan But again, this just seems very ESPN like to not have
100%. Yeah. You hit it right there on the head. Do you remember Sports Nation back in the day? Sports Nation was one of the most fun shows ESPN has ever come up with. And then, obviously, it wasn't entirely their fault because, Colin Cowherd left on his own. Michelle, they all left. But then the way that they tried to handle it after the fact killed the show. First Take, I've not watched First Take like that in, I want to say, years. But when it first started up, I did watch it pretty regularly. And same thing, I just felt like they handled it terribly yet again. It felt like they were, like you said, they were writing some of their takes to make it seem one way, like the whole Max Kellerman bit about how he used to be a Knicks fan and now he's this ultimate Knicks hater. But it just, to me, the show's starting to get whacked. So it feels like First Take is just on its last leg and it's about to just instantly vanish. And I have no problem with it because, to be real, like for anybody that likes Stephen A. Smith and wants their Stephen A. Smith fix, I like his show. I know it's ESPN Plus, so his actual show, Steven's World or Stephen A's World or whatever it's called. It's a dope show. It's not quite like Quite Frankly, but it has the essence of what Quite Frankly once had. And Stephen A. Smith is out there actually doing what Stephen A. Smith does so well and giving a story to what he's talking about in front as far as the sports are involved. And he's not just yelling and trying to be funny about it. So I think, the whole, First Take and Undisputed, like I think the ship is sailed with those. And I think, like you said, with them bringing in all these different hosts, and it's just gonna, a few months from now, nobody's gonna really be caring or watching the show like that.
Yeah, I haven't watched First Take. It's got to be. I mean, it was before I left for Saipan. I left for Saipan in 2016, so it's been a minute since I watched First Take. But I agree with you. I listened to his podcast, Stephen A's podcast. Love his podcast.
That's good too.
Max
Yep.
Kellerman just tries. I like Max Kellerman. I would probably listen to Max Kellerman, if he had his own show, which I think he does. I just don't listen to it yet. But he just tries to be a little too down with Stephen A. Like, I just don't like his whole persona. I don't know if that's really him, but it is what it is. We'll see how this works.
His Knicks hate's too much. His Knicks hate is too much for me. The whole shtick, I can't deal with it anymore. Max Kellerman, when he talks about boxing, I love it. Like, he has that show. I love listening to Max Kellerman talk about boxing. That dude knows his stuff. When it comes to basketball, and then he just says one thing about the Knicks, and it's too much for me. Like, I understand it, Knicks, we were bad, but now we're going in the right direction. You're still trying to find ways to shoot us down. Like, I just can't do it. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah. So over the weekend, guys, just trust and believe. I'm going to be looking into this whole remove and see what that's about, because I need to know. But let's go on to this last post up, because this is the one, Chris. This is the one that I said we need to figure out if this needs to be an Olympic sport, because you see the title, right?
I see it.
Extreme game of balloon volleyball. Now, when I first watched this, I was like, I think my mom mode kicked in, like, oh my God, sharp edges, not safe, not safe. But then I watched it a second time, and I'm like, I would watch this on TV if they had like all these obstacles. Just take a look and tell me if you think this needs to be a sport.
I'm already excited. Oh, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be. Yes. 100%, yeah.
The edges, though. Watch out for the table.
Tough. Oh, that's GG's. Slow mo. Dive, though. The table, though. It used to be like this, man. I'm loving this. Bum. No, the other way. Go left. No, you're making it easy on him. Get out of there. Goodbye. Oh, I would watch this for sure. For sure.
Oh, my God.
Go left. Yeah, there it is. GG's. Game over. Oh, he really got there. No. Wrap it up. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I like how we both were all into it. Like, no.
Yeah. No, yes. And they're committed. Like, it wasn't just like, no, they were diving and so. Oh, yeah. Where do I sign? Where do I, like, let me know. I would 102,000% watch this damn thing if it was an actual sport, for sure. This is dope. I'm with it.
I love this. There was that moment at the end. I don't know if you heard when he was like, no. I just wanted to that part down. He's like so into it. This next gentleman, he's a little older. I went to his Instagram page or his Twitter page just to check him out. But Brian Floyd was like, this is my childhood and beyond my childhood. I'm ready to do it right now after some stretching. So maybe what we do is we make this competitive, and then instead of revamping First Take, we just have competitive balloon.
I'm watching it
during First Take. Boom.
Right.
ESPN solved your problem, and you're welcome.
Yep.
I definitely
you,
need
to catch me on there. Facts, me too.
Some long dives, yep. We with it. We with it.
No furniture was broken. They're professionals, man. Professionals. I know you was there worried the whole time.
I was worried about the gas. Like, oh, corner of the table, blood everywhere. That's what I was afraid of.
But that's what makes it a great sport. Every good sport has the unfortunate possibility of injury. That's what this brings. It's a tough sport. That's why it's called extreme, Jackie. It's extreme for a reason. There it is. I'm with that. I'm with it.
You're right. I love it. I would watch this day in and day out. I'd be at work. What you doing, huh? Nothing.
Yeah. And I know chat thing we joke. I would totally be in it. You heard me there commentating over. I was really into it. Don't let. Yeah, no. I'd be into that for sure.
God, that's great. Okay, that's all I got for the post up, but let's get into what we're not gonna do. This one is a first, you guys. I don't do this a lot, but I am going to go ahead and issue. Obviously, it hurts for me to say this because I don't do this very often. I'm going to issue an apology to Paul Daugherty. I think I definitely owe him an apology. I think a lot of us owe him an apology because you remember he is the reporter from the Cincinnati Enquirer who asked Naomi Osaka that question, and then we all kind of berated him and said he was bullying her. So if you do remember, though, when we talked about this the first time, I said that I had went and I had looked for the audio to try to see, because even his question, the way I read it, I was like, well, maybe it's not that bad. But you guys know tone says everything. You can say hi to somebody and be like, hi. It means two totally different things. So I really wanted to know the tone. So I just want to read you his question. He says, you're not crazy about dealing with us, especially in this format, yet you have a lot of outside interests that are served by having a media platform. How do you balance the two? So again, depending on how you deliver that, it could be bad. Just reading the words, it doesn't sound bad. But then I started reading about it, not only from Naomi's agent, but two different sports writers said the guy was a bully. I'm assuming these guys are in the room when this is said. So even though I couldn't find the audio, these are three different people that said this guy was a bully. So in my head, this guy's a bully. So then Stephen A. Smith comes out in support of this man. And now all of a sudden, I can find the video of him asking this question. So you guys listen to him asking this question, and then you'll probably see why I'm issuing this apology. So take a listen.
Down. You also have outside interests beyond tennis that are served by having the platform that the media presents to you. My question is, how do you think you might be able to best balance the two?
Naomi was so overcome, she left the press conference in May.
The thing about this is there's two things about this specific video. Number one, she was teary-eyed before he asked the question. I don't know if you guys saw that. She was already in some state of emotion. She looked down. Mm-hmm. She looked down. She looked really sad. That probably has nothing to do with the line of questioning she received before then. It could have a lot to do with the fact that Haiti is going what they're going through, and her dad was over there, and this woman is just going through a lot. But when you hear how he asked the question, it wasn't a bad question. I felt he was very sensitive in how he presented it. It was a solid question he even had empathy in his voice. So I have to say, again, I was wrong. In my head, when I heard Naomi's agent say that he was a bully, and those two other sports writers, which I can't remember, I know one is for the New York Times, that said dude was a bully. Dude was a bully. They were in the room, in my opinion. So I was like, okay, absolutely not. So Stephen A. Smith, he issued a statement about it, and now that's when I could find this whole video all of a sudden. And so Stephen A. Smith said, based off that press conference, I thought the reporter was incredibly fair and incredibly delicate with how he asked the question. I'm trying to figure out what the reporter did wrong. I didn't see that. And for the agent to come out with a statement basically accusing a journalist of bullying, I'm like, what are you talking about? If you are a journalist and that is what is classified as bullying, then as a journalist, you get to go up there and only thing you can say is, what would you like to talk about? I 100% agree with Stephen A. Smith on this one. I owe Paul Daugherty an apology. I thought he delivered that question with a level of empathy, and it is difficult. I don't know if you guys follow me on my YouTube, but I also work for the Long Beach Post. I just had to do a story on Wednesday with some anti-vaxxers. I had to do an interview with somebody who's wearing Proud Boy paraphernalia, which means this person does not want to talk to me.
I was about to say, yep. Mm-hmm.
Period. So then there's a level of, and you guys know me well enough from this show to know that I'm not confrontational, but I'm not non-confrontational. If you want it, we can get it, you know? So he's flashing at me, and I have to maintain a level of professionalism, and I have to ask questions that make him think, not that I agree with his side, but I am interested in his side. So you do have to be delicate in these situations. So if you have to be delicate in a hostile situation, you have to have empathy in a sensitive situation. I think Paul Daugherty nailed it with the way he asked this question. And I think Paul Daugherty, now that we look back at him saying, I've been a sports writer for 35 years, now I really feel like I owe him an apology, because he definitely asked his question in a way that signified he's been in this business for 35 years. I have no doubt that this man would handle himself professionally in a hostile situation. He would handle himself professionally in a sensitive situation, because he did. This whole thing about this reporter being a bully that was started by her agent, and everybody else kind of ran with it.
And everyone picked, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to do. I don't want to, make anyone feel bad about that. It's easy to do when you see a young woman that you care about, and then all you see is the aftermath of the question. Easy train to fall on and say, yeah, this guy was wrong. He made her cry. Again, by watching the video, you can see she was already emotional before the question. His question was phrased correctly. Her reaction to it, maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back in that moment, but his question was 100% right. So what I'm not going to do is not take this moment to apologize to Paul Daugherty. You were absolutely right in how you asked that question. Stephen A. was absolutely right to defend you. Naomi Osaka, we still empathize with what you're going through, but as media, we still have to ask these questions with a level of empathy, and he did that. So my apologies. Chris, what do you think?
No, I agree. I agree. Because what it was, the articles that we were seeing surround this entire thing, none of them ever really put exactly what Daugherty had said. It was just that narrative that he had pushed her to tears. I remember looking at, and I don't normally read articles in with this one because I wanted to know more about it, because like you said, there was no footage or nothing about what he had actually asked her. It just all started from when she started talking, and then, what was assumed that she had said. So and this is also one of the beefs I have with the media, like for them to get this so wrong. And understandably, it was the agent that, was trying to put that out there to try to bash him in or whatever the case may be. That's crazy. And yeah, I do feel pretty bad about that, because I just assumed the worst because of her reaction to it and her response to the question. So, yeah, I do feel a little bad, because that question, there was absolutely nothing wrong with that question. I feel like that is probably one of the better ways that you could ask the question, because he's not wrong. You're going to be you had other obligations that you're going to be dealing with. You're going to be dealing with media then. So how are you doing both of them? And I thought it was respectful. It's just crazy how we saw a whole different narrative in tons and a big amount of different articles, and then I don't know. So yeah, shout out to Stephen A. Smith for being on top of that one. I guess you had to have seen the actual interview itself, right, when it was live to have known, and I guess he was probably one of the few that did, because I didn't see it when it was live. So I do feel terrible for going in on him on that, but like you said, I still feel with Naomi. I hope, because she, like you said, she's whatever the case may have been, it was still something that was really affecting her. She was still able to get her answer out very strongly. But yeah, it definitely was not on Paul for sure. So I do feel a little bit bad about that, and I do apologize as well, because I was upset with them. I was very upset with them. We both were. We went in on them for sure. But yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And clowned him. I am so sorry, Paul. You 35 years showed in that moment, and you did the right thing. And it's
right. And it actually did that time. Yeah, because that's what we were talking about. You was there for 35 years, and we were like, yo. So, and of course, now he just wants the story. But seeing that he handled it, I don't know. I feel the type of way about that, because like I said, looked at several different articles, and none of them had any quote of what he had said. It just went right in from her being upset and why she was upset, but it didn't really give the detail. That's crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy to me. I feel terrible.
The way that it happened is why people get things wrong. Because even Fat Slim in the chat, he said she didn't have that reaction to his question. She reacted to the question asked by a woman. That's actually 100% wrong. Right after she answered his question is when she went into tears and she was unable to answer that woman's question. But when you put these narratives out there, everything gets twisted. From now on, put the full video out. It's ridiculous that I wasn't able to find the full video of the question until today.
Anywhere.
So, yeah.
It was the same video.
Apologies, Paul. Well done.
Wow. That's crazy.
Sorry you got dragged like that. That was ridiculous. But we made it, guys. Happy Friday. I hope you guys have fun, safe plans for the weekend. We will be back here. Chris is going to be back here on Monday, right?
I'll be back. I'm here on Monday. Yep.
Yep. Chris is going to be back on Monday. Make sure you have that notification bell on. I have another interview with an Olympian that's coming out, I believe, today. So make sure you have that notification bell on so you don't miss that. Go back and watch the other one. It was fantastic as well. We will see you Monday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys be good to each other. Be safe. We'll see you then. Bye.